Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Teo, MP for Miri. Malaysia now is the world champion, even surpassing India in terms of number of COVID cases. We have 6,000 new cases every day as of today, and number of deaths more than 50 every day. If you look at the vaccination rate of Myanmar, it is able to roll out 127,000 doses every day compared to Malaysia, which is rolling out 25,000. So we are actually 5 times slower than Myanmar, which is the poorest country in ASEAN. There is war going on in Myanmar, and yet in Myanmar they can roll out 5 times more vaccines compared to Malaysia. So what actually went wrong? We have done everything that was recommended. We have a lockdown, we have partial lockdown, we have a complete lockdown, and we have asked people to wear masks. We have fined people who are crowded together in restaurants, and find people on the roadside if they are not wearing masks. We have recommended double masks as well, and yet we are now the champion in the world as far as COVID is concerned. To me, we have made a lot of mistakes. We were supposed to import more than 30 million doses of vaccines 6 months ago. But so far, Malaysia's vaccination is very slow. We are only giving out so far 2.5 million doses of vaccine. We are supposed to give out 44 million doses of vaccines to 22 million of people who are eligible, but we are far behind. We are only giving out 25,000 doses a day. Earlier on, the Minister of Vaccination promised that it was 75,000 per day, and it's 3 times slower than promised. The vaccines were paid for. 5 billion ringgit were paid, and we haven't got the vaccine. And so far, 96% of people are waiting in line on the app, waiting to be vaccinated. And people are getting impatient, people are getting angry because there is no response from the app. The rollout of vaccine is very, very slow. And so now, we know that those countries that vaccinate fast, they can bring down the number of cases, of new cases, and the number of deaths. For example, in UK, they are rolling out 700,000 to 800,000 doses per day. In USA, 2 million per day. And in Malaysia, we are rolling out only 25,000 per day, and this is far too slow. Those countries that have vaccinated, the number of cases, like in UK, has dropped below 2 digits, and Israel, the number of cases have practically disappeared as far as new cases and the number of deaths. Vaccines work. The countries that vaccinate fast, they overcome the problem fast. In Jakarta, 30,000 frontliners, doctors and nurses, after injecting the vaccine, none of them died. 30,000, none of them died after a few months. So vaccines work. The only way now is we have to catch up with our vaccination. We have to get our vaccines in as fast as possible. So far, the vaccines are coming in, but the government actually have to buy from an approved agent at a much higher price than if it had bought from government to government. So that is illegal, that is criminal. Instead of trying to get in as much vaccine as possible, the government is actually trying to get the agent to make as much money as possible. Government now has to buy from this company. Anybody who wants to donate have to buy from this company at a markup price. States that want to donate, like Sarawak, Selangor, and Penang, they are prevented from buying direct from the manufacturer. They have to go through this agent, and the agent will obviously mark up the price many times more than the real price. So this is a criminal activity, and I urge the king to look into it, because we are in a panic situation. People are dying, and there are people who are thinking of making as much money as possible from this situation. How are you going to immunize so many people, 22 million people in 4 months, where after injecting this 22 million people at 2 doses per person, we will probably get herd immunity, and the cases will go down, and number of deaths will gradually disappear. In order to inject 22 million people at 2 doses each, we need 44 million doses. Let's say we want to give it in 4 months. We have to inject 11 million per month nationwide, and that works out to be 366,000 per day. We must get 366,000 doses every day, including weekends, in order to reach 44 million doses after 4 months. And this speed is 15 times faster than what they are doing now. They are doing at 25,000. We have to speed it up 15 times. The speed of 75,000 promised by the Minister of Vaccination is actually only 3 times faster. We need more. We need 15 times. To do that, we need 1,600 clinics. For the next 4 months, each day, each clinic will inject 90 doses. In a day, they will inject 144,000. At the same time, we need 40 major vaccination centers, government and private hospitals. Each of these 40 must inject 5,000 per day. That will give 200,000 per day. Total up government and big centers and clinics, then only will achieve 360,000 per day. And that will be able to give us the estimate of what is the job. How big is the job? The way I see it, government only want to give 12 doses a day to all the clinics, all the 2,000 clinics that have registered. 12 doses a day is 7 times less than what it should be to reach the target. The government are giving 200 for some of these hospitals per day. It should be 5,000 doses. Then only we can hit the target. So the government should find out what is the bottleneck. Why is it that people are not getting vaccinated? A lot of complaint is in the app. The app registers people and doesn't know what to do with it. The app doesn't know how to arrange people to go for vaccination. They will tell you to go next week, and 10 days later. That is not going to speed up the vaccination program.
So everyone can see this MyData app, although it's very expensive, it failed. It is a failure. It is very difficult to use, and it keeps on failing, and it keeps on being jammed up. and people are unable to log in, and it changes the appointment date. So if we continue to use this My Data app, I'm sure that we will meet same problems again, and we will not be able to meet the target. So it is so important. Government must have a backup plan, because this My Data has failed, it is failing, and it will fail again. And how are we going to inform thousands of people in an app that is failing all the time?
There must be a better way to immunize 360,000 people every day. It is up to the government to find a way. If they cannot find a way and they meet with the bottleneck, they have to work out a way in order to reach a target. So far, they have no calculation, they have no plan, and the way they're doing it is not going to hit this target. And if we're going to take 4 years, at the rate we are going, Malaysia will be number one in terms of deaths, calamity, economic bankruptcy, and so on. So we have to be fast, we have to catch up and ask the government, tell the public what is their plan and what is the target in order to reach herd immunity in 4 months' time. Thank you very much.